Welcome to Pastor JDO3. Yes, that is the name of this podcast, and I am Johnny Ogletree III. Man, I am so glad that you have chosen to spend this time in dialogue with us. Today, I do believe that we have a great discussion in store for you. Today's title of the podcast is Gifted and Misunderstood. Gifted and Misunderstood. And today's thought will be drawn from Matthew, the 13th chapter, verse 55, which reads, "Isn't this the carpenter's son? Isn't his mother's name Mary? And aren't his brothers James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas?" Gifted and misunderstood. Well, look, Jesus is not an ordinary person. He is literally God in flesh. And they've grown up to know him as the young boy that was in the neighborhood. You know, the one that rode around on his skateboard all day, or was popping wheelies on his bicycle, or maybe the young man that came over and knocked on the door and played video games for 3 to 4 hours out the day. And they knew this young man as a guy that was outside playing football and shooting hoops up at the park. And that's what they knew of Jesus. He was a young kid, and now he is a young man. He has grown up before their very eyes. He is now not just studious, he is excellent. He is teaching with the wisdom of 10,000 men. He is a rabbi, a master teacher. He is full of wisdom and full of knowledge. He is a miracle worker. He's not just teaching. He's not just preaching powerful. He's not just praying powerful. He just doesn't have full recollection of the scripture. He literally is the scripture. He is not just a teacher, but he is a miracle worker. They're seeing him perform miracles before their very eyes, signs and wonders, healing the sick. And now they got this young man in front of them, and they have no earthly idea what to do with what they've seen. I mean, how is this possible? This young man was delivering groceries just last week. How is this possible? This young man was knocking on my door and asking to cut my grass for $20. How is this possible? This young man is the one that was working in the shop with his dad, and they were just working on my bench. He was helping his father repair my car last week. How is this possible? Who is this guy? What happened to him? What happened to the person we once knew? Jesus is gifted beyond their wildest imagination. He is outside of the box that they put him in. And I wanted to have this discussion because some of you are just like Jesus. Some of you have been placed in that same box, and now you come back to your hometown. You went away to college. You got some training. You got some education. You met some people who know how to do some unique things. You learned some things about finances. You learned some things about education. You learned some things about politics. You learned some things about community. You learned some things about health and wellness and emotional stability and emotional health or wellness. And you've learned all of these things, and you come back to your community and you're trying to give them the information that you know. You're trying to show them that there's a different way on how to manage their money and how to run their business. There's a different way to invest your money. There's a different way to build your life expectancy. There's a different way to start your career. There's a different way. And the people that you come back to just aren't receptive to what you're doing because they have this idea of what they know, what they've experienced, and they're expecting you to be likewise. So I wanted to ask you, what is it like being gifted and misunderstood? What is it like when you start to grow and excel and to learn some things and want to introduce some things and have wisdom to share and have ideas to share, and it's not received by those who have you placed in this little bitty box or have restricted you from moving outside of the sphere of their parameters? Surely this young man, surely this young woman can't go beyond Nazareth. Like, nothing good comes from us. Nothing powerful comes from us. No next president comes from here. Not the next governor. Not the next senator. Not the next judge. No. There's no way this person could be right under our nose the entire time. So they place him in the box. Well, one of the things that people can do sometimes is they judge you based upon your family lineage. What they say about Jesus, they say, look, what you said was impressive. The miracle that you did, we're really not sure how you did that, but that was impressive too. But the only thing that we see when we look at you is your dad. And since your dad was in prison, there's no way that you could be the next political leader. There's no way that you could start the organization that starts to feed needy families. There's no way that you could come back and be the principal of the high school. There's no way that we could trust you as a leader in our church or a leader in the community. There's no way that we can do this. Look at who your dad is. I'm sorry. You have some good ideas, but because of the last name that you bear, because of the face that you share a likeness with, because of the family lineage and the residence that you share a commonality with, we can't receive you as a leader. Not based upon what we've seen today, but based upon who you're connected with in your past. Is that you? There are so many of us who are just raring to get out, to want to show people that we changed, want to show people that we've grown, want to show people that we're different, want to give to people the total volume, the total power, the total giftedness of what we have. But they can't receive it because of what they think about you. He was just misunderstood. And so they rejected him. And I have a feeling that there are a lot of people out there that are in the same boat. I remember the first time when I was a kid that I walked into the room with the grownups. And in my generation, when the kids would walk into the room, the grownups would stop talking, right? And so I walk into the room, and I'm trying to have the grown-ups are having a dialogue, and I come in, and they would immediately stop talking and look like, why is this kid in the room with these grown folks, right? Now, I remember that, but I also remember the first time I walked in the room, and they didn't stop talking. Man, what a great feeling that was, because I felt like finally, it's like, okay, I'm a grown-up. I've arrived. I'm there. I'm different. They see me. They respect me. They're not stopping their conversation. This is a great feeling. It can't get better than this. But I respected the conversation so much that I really kept my mouth shut. But then there was a day and a conversation where I felt like I had something to add. And I didn't want to just listen. I wanted to actually share. I remember what it was like sharing that idea. And I also sadly remember the reception that it received. When I thought about Jesus literally stepping up, standing up, speaking out with authority, speaking out as one that had knowledge, speaking out as one who had a power and authority, not just over some teachings, but that he was the author, that he was the creator. He was the administrator, if you will, of all things. He was the source of all things. And now speaking as one, revealing more about himself, revealing the gift that had been placed in flesh, revealing to people the gift that had been placed in this earthen vessel, now beginning to unpeel the layers and to shine forth and to show forth the true giftedness that was in him. And I just figured, I was like, wow, he must be in immense pain. Imagine this. He brought all that he had back to the community that he loved, the community that raised him, the community that supported him, the community that knew him. And to be his most effective, he had to go outside of them to accomplish it. And I wonder how many of you have been in that same position where you came back to the town and you said, you know what, now I'm trained, I have more to offer, and now I would love nothing better than to give all of what you have poured into me back into you, not one-fold, but 100-fold. And to be pressed and to be disrespected and to be misunderstood at such a level that you can't even give to the community the fullness of what you have, and you have to go elsewhere to be effective. Well, one of the things that I love about this, Jesus was truly gifted and misunderstood, as I assume that some of you probably are. But what I love about this is he didn't let it stop him. He didn't get mad. He didn't get discouraged. He didn't quit. He didn't stop carrying out his calling. He didn't abort his purpose. He didn't cast off his mission. He said, you know what? I know what God has me, what I'm supposed to do. I know what my assignment is. And no matter what people think about me, no matter how I've been rejected, no matter how much I'm misunderstood, no matter how little I can do to help these people that God has sent me to, but I will use my gift to its fullest ability, and I'm going to complete my assignment. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go outside of this town that I've been raised in, and I'm going to do my assignment so well that I am a blessing, not just to the entire world, but now I'm a blessing back to the little town. Sometimes you have to go away and to be a blessing abroad, to be a blessing back home. He wasn't effective back in his home place, but he went away and was so powerful and so anointed and such gifted and carried out his calling in such a way that it transformed everybody's life, not just the lives at home. And I wonder how many of us have just kind of limited ourselves to being effective in a small place when God has something much larger for us to take on. I want to encourage you not to stop just because you've been gifted and misunderstood, but keep walking in your gifting. Keep being special. Keep being unique. Keep being different. Enjoy the journey and watch to see, don't God do something amazing through you? Hey, look, I thank you for joining us on the podcast, Pastor JD03, and I'm excited about hearing from you. If you're one of those people that's gifted and misunderstood, hey, why don't you click reply and give us a message? And if you respond to me verbally, I'll respond to you verbally. You can also find me on all of the social medias by using the hashtag Pastor JD03. So that's hashtag Pastor JD03. Use that hashtag and you'll be able to communicate with me on any of the social medias. Hey, thank you for joining us on the podcast. We look forward to sharing with you in the future. Hey, God bless you.